welcome the whenever We've got Elon Musk, other known as 99XS,
Ollie.
otherwise known as Oliver.
Ollie.
Uh, we got
Anything
the
that isn't primarily
Cardinal,
alias.
ever known as Jack, otherwise known as HippieBoi.
Hit the
Hey,
We
road,
got
Jack.
what's
me,
up?
and we got me, Chode, Grand Old Duke of Pork,
It'd be easier to
Lost
say what
Pens,
we don't call him.
Penny.
You know.
Yeah. Slurs. That's what
Many
people call me.
names. Many names. There's been many
that
names.
goes by, and not a single one of them good. You know.
Yeah.
But welcome. It's been a while, so grab your coffee, grab your tea,
And
your
if you're going
popcorn.
to sleep, wake up.
Wake
Wake
up.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
But
It's
Wake up.
it's been quite a tumultuous few weeks actually. When I think of America, what I think of now is just a kind of a wasteland at the moment. because whenever you hear news now, it's never anything good.
No.
At least with the Biden presidency, you could say that we had some normal days, right? Not necessarily good days. We had some normal days. I don't think there's been a single normal day in the Trump admin.
No. I mean, I can't. There's like something like over 13 members of his cabinet are on the Epstein files. Or
Really?
something ridiculous.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Or it's
about
like,
that.
no, it's over 30 members are on his.
But the thing is about being in the Epstein files.
It doesn't
right?
mean you've gone there, but
Yeah,
like
it just means you're in the files.
Yeah.
Achievement.
Like he was quite a. He was like
You're
the
in the
richest guy in
files, aren't you,
Manhattan.
Ollie?
Of course, you're gonna bump into
I am.
him at some point. Like I bumped
You
into
didn't
him.
go to the island.
I didn't go to the island.
I said Ollie, but okay.
Oh, no, I didn't.
No,
I went to his townhouse once or twice, but I never went to the island.
I went to his club. I don't know if he owned a club.
I don't think he had a
I
club.
went to one of his pizza parties.
Pizza party.
Oh.
That sounds like more of a Diddy thing. Oh, it's a pizza party.
Apparently there's this like, well, it's not really conspiracy, but it could be. But it's like on the Epstein files, pizza parties meant young.
Pizzagate was
girls,
fucking real.
and
Pizzagate was
Yeah, it
real.
was
That's
real.
insane.
and then hot dog, and then if you're going to get hot dogs, it meant to do with young boys.
Hmm.
So I didn't go to the pizza parties,
Thank God you didn't.
but I did go to the hot dog parties.
Oh, were they a blast?
Where they were with Trump there and Bill Clinton.
I think Bill Clinton's the craziest one, to be honest.
Mm.
But
I think it would have been crazier if it was Hillary.
Hillary, I mean, she was probably. I think she's kind of a freak. This is just a suspicion of mine.
Sabrina Carpenter.
But yeah, no, she. If you look at her young, she looked like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
But come on, to put up with Bill Clinton for 30 years, I think she's worse.
He's a bit of a. Jeez, yeah, no.
Like 50, 60 years.
Yeah. No, he's a.
He's a
He's a
stud,
fucking.
but like a fucking paedophile, same time.
Yeah. And does Monica Lewinsky vote Democrat? Do you think?
Yeah, no, I think she does.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, she must have enjoyed Bill then if she still votes for them. It must have been a good time.
Allegedly, he did not
He did
have
not
sexual
have
relations with that woman.
with that woman.
So we'll never know.
He says that when Hillary's not around.
Yeah.
But there's been some revelations from the Epstein files, right? I mean, we finally discovered the character of Jeffrey Epstein, right? Because before
Must have
he's
been
just
a
kind of a
woman.
boogeyman. He's just just a person you bring up in a joke, like, oh,
Must have been transgender.
I've been to Epstein's island. But no, we know how he types. We know how he actually speaks in conversation now. Before he was just the only footage was him.
We know what he orders of Amazon.
Yeah,
You know.
Me and Ollie over here, we went through his Amazon. He was a big, he loved his books on plants and things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, if we went through his house, and he has an absurd amount of like sexual sculptures, and I said he's either LARPing as a hypersexual guy, or he's the horniest motherfucker of all time. Because you should have seen the
Literally.
amount of naked busts. Well, not busts. Busts is only head.
And
But, you
pictures.
know, just pictures, portraits.
Copper like molds and shit of
Yeah,
like
of
just
naked
just
bodies, man.
just an insane amount of that
You
shit.
know,
It's insane.
it's either he's faking it, or he was
Mm.
he was faking it, or he really was just that horny. Like he must have had about 3
Mm.
penises, you know. So
Uh, yeah, yeah. Same. I mean, same with Ghislaine. You know.
yeah, I mean, she was the. I mean, what kind of women are into the whole sex trafficking thing? You know, you'd assume they'd have bit more empathy, right?
Yeah, but if they're not being trafficked, they're not going
Well,
to
then they're
care,
into
are
it.
they?
The fuck?
Well, it's like either I can have an issue with this and I get killed or trafficked, or I can go along with it. And
I
I
don't
know
think
what
that.
I'd pick.
I think Ghislaine. Oh, I really don't know how you say it. I think she was
Ghislaine Maxwell.
the powerful one in
Mastermind.
that dynamic because she
Yeah.
came from.
It's
Wasn't
like Lady Macbeth.
yeah,
Mm.
no, Lady Macbeth. She was pulling
Maybe.
the strings. Unsex me here. Well, actually, maybe sex me here. Or sex.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it probably would be.
I mean, maybe.
That scene was taking place in a nursery.
Maybe
No? Okay.
Shakespeare was on.
Required.
Maybe he was in the know. Maybe he was on the. He's in the list. He's in the flight logs. You know. Well, I guess we'll never know.
Did we? I guess we'll never know.
Maybe his corpse.
Did we just?
Yeah.
I can't believe we all just ignored my nursery joke. That felt really.
Well,
swept
it's just
under
that I
the
don't
rug.
think they really fucked toddlers, you know. Yeah.
They'd eat them.
They eat them.
Eat toddlers.
There's a whole thing. There's a whole thing on that about how they would
I,
get
I,
babies and eat them.
I don't believe
I don't
it.
know how true that is, but that's what I've been told.
Come on. I think all he did was fucking 14 to like 18. No, 17 year olds. You know, I don't think it was.
Well, I mean, I haven't really bothered looking. Though,
Shakespeare is in the Epstein files. I just thought I'd
I mean, he
let you
would have
guys know. I
talked
just
about
googled
it
it.
at some point, right?
Yeah, he did. Shakespeare is a genius. Is nonsense. RP.
Well,
That's what he. Please note the information. Thought you might enjoy to Lisa New. I love this, Jeffrey. Thank you for sending this. My virus is board. I'll let Jamie put this into the final edit.
okay.
he won't. He won't.
Yeah,
Mate,
no.
you were praising Jamie on the last video, but you know,
Can have enough of it. Right. Anyway, point of order for today's podcast is apparently Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, no, that was the brainchild of my success, of my suggestion. Sorry, not success. But Minnesota, right? I was kind of getting to it when I was saying America. It seems a bit anarchic at the minute. It really seems like chaotic, and it seems that all the shenanigans have come in the past like 5 years since George Floyd. Well, that up and coming 6 been Minnesota, but especially this past couple months with all the ICE agents, the protests.
Process. William Stancil.
Yeah,
Standstill.
Will Stencil. You know, I mean, what do you think, Lost Pens, about
I think
ICE?
it's just quite. I'm not a big ICE fan, to be honest. I know they've always existed, and it's like, you know, they've existed for a little while, but I just think the power Trump's given them is unreasonable. And there's this thing about how they've got to do an arrest quota of something like 3,000 a day, and if they
Illegals.
don't hit that, yeah. and if they don't hit that, they get some sort of punishment or whatever. I don't really know the whole ins and out, but they've got an arrest quota per day, from what I've been told, and that's why they've started to go so rogue, because they need to hit that, because they've been told they need to hit that quota,
Yeah.
or whatever will happen. So that's why they've started going so rogue, and a lot of them. And it's not only that, but there's less of a screening process now. I feel like it's sort of any sort of Texan with a thick enough accent or enough money could get in.
Enough money? They
Well,
they
not
get
enough
paid a
money,
pretty
but
penny.
you know what
They
I
need.
mean. It's like I feel like it's sort of there's not as big of a screening process anymore. So you're getting a lot more sort of big Republicans who are joining the cause, and then they're not being properly trained or whatever, and they're getting shoved into the field as quick as possible, and it just leads to a lot of, chaos and
Yeah.
unorganisation.
Yeah, no, about the
Because
quota thing, that
it
is quite
it is
unreasonable.
inherently good.
Unreasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, there shouldn't be a quota, but it's because, then they can say by like the end of the presidency, oh, we got the most
Yeah.
illegals
They're
deported
trying to beat
ever.
Obama out with the
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he was on a mad one apparently.
Yeah.
Deportator in chief over here.
He was the one
It's
who
like,
knocked.
but it's like ICE isn't inherently a bad idea.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know. Yeah, yeah.
You can't
I
say it's a
agree,
bad
actually.
idea, but it's how they're practicing it is what's the bad idea. It's like it's how they're executing it, So I don't disagree with the concept of ICE, but I just disagree with the execution of it. I think if they did just target dangerous illegal immigrants, it wouldn't be as big
I
of
think
a
like
problem,
70% of them are pretty. Apparently, are like have some kind of bad record. The people they target.
Yeah, but they arrested one guy for having a driving ticket.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that. But no,
I've not seen that either.
wasn't there a case? Ollie would be better at explaining it. And it was like so there was this false report that ICE lured people with children or something.
Oh
But
yeah. That 5-year-old.
That really isn't the
And it
case.
turns out the dad had just so they had a son when they came to America. These illegal immigrants. So the son isn't illegal because they have birthright citizenship in America. But the dad was.
Didn't they? I know they do.
Yeah. They currently still do, but they're trying to get rid of it. The New World idea, anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, but I'm sorry.
But yeah, so the dad, when ICE was coming, because these Americans, they like to blow their whistles and whatnot, so they know when ICE is coming. Did a runner and left the 5-year-old, and an ICE agent had to come to the 5-year-old and just stand with him to make sure that he didn't because he's a 5-year-old in the middle of fucking the street or whatever. And then that was taken out of context, and everyone was saying that the ICE agents were
obviously
luring people with 5-year-olds in the street or whatever. And it's like,
I don't agree with the left taking things out of context either. I don't think the right should be lying, because the right wing do lie a lot, but so do the left wing. But it's like you do as more of a middle sort of libertarian guy. I do normally find that I do sort of clock right wing lies more than I do left, because it's just like when you got Caroline Levitt changing her answers each week on one topic, it makes it pretty clear sometimes. But yeah, it's also when I also don't like Caroline Levitt. Like there was that guy from Wales that went over to do like their press conferences and stuff, and was like, "Oh, I believe ICE is shooting people sort of unjustifiably," and she just went, "Well, you're a biased left-wing reporter," and it's like, well, he has an opinion. It doesn't make him biased, but you're a biased right-wing. You're literally on a Republican cabinet, being the spokesperson. You're biased. It's stupid. You can't just use the word biased. Like, if anyone's biased, it's
probably is a
her.
better answer to that question. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, I did you see? It reminds me. I will get back to the thing. It's a little detour, but it was some guy who's dressed up as fucking Batman, and he was like shouting at like the Minnesota fucking council or something. So
What?
they had like this public, you know,
Oh, I
thing.
know what you're on
And
about.
he was, why was he dressed as Batman, man? It was,
It wasn't like a good costume, was it?
it was a bit shit, you know. But
Yeah.
like, I think it was weird. I'd have to put, well, I'd have to get Jamie to pull it up. But no,
Yeah.
about like ice and things, you know. I think there's been something wrong with the employment. Let's just say over there, because I
Yeah.
think I I don't think there should have been such a hootenanny in Minnesota anyway. Because let's be honest, the Somali, we know now, you know, the Somali community there, they have done fraud, right? And that shouldn't really be an American thing. And I mean, just looking at the place, Minnesota doesn't look very nice, you know. I mean, some of them still believe in like black magic and things like that. Like so I don't think they're prime American citizens, right? And so I think part of the part of the I, I don't know what the right word would be, but part of the kind of the I don't know, but part of the silliness of this whole situation um like what they're even protesting against in the first place, like uh, but sorry, I'm tripping on my words, but like protesting over like illegal people who literally have like no connection to America at all. I'm sorry to say, and and they get, you know, and they get unjustly killed. Like, I'm not gonna
Well,
dispute that.
wasn't there that? Where did that 15-year-old kid get shot? Like recently by ICE during the protest.
Where was that?
That might have been Minnesota itself.
I didn't hear
But
about that. I thought
one
there
of
would have
the
been a bigger fuss
one
over it
of the
than.
key reasons there was protests going on was there was this kid protesting in an open carry state where you're allowed a pistol. Um,
15-year-old
in his
kid?
hands.
I don't remember this.
Or it was something like that. I remember
What?
my friend had been on about. There was someone who got shot with a pistol. They might not have been 15, but there's a video on it online, and it was reported by loads of news. So this isn't just me finding,
Hang on.
some niche corner of TikTok.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
but well, I don't use
Accused of
TikTok.
killing 15-year-old Moorhead teen as ICE detained.
Um,
What?
but basically, he was carrying a pistol, and ICE got rid of the pistol, but there was a miscommunication problem.
Are you talking about Alex Pretty?
I don't know, but this was
No.
like only a couple weeks ago.
He wasn't 15. He
He
was
was
like in his
36.
30s.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there was a
No.
guy who got shot by ICE like 10 times in the head.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Alex
we
Pretty.
spoke about that.
After they took away his pistol.
Yeah.
in an
No.
open
No.
carry
Yeah.
state.
No. I think
Yeah.
that was
Which is
unjust.
one of the reasons why protests started over. It could have been in Minnesota itself.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The
But,
protest
he
was
was
definitely there before he was at the protest.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, but he was at a protest, and got his pistol taken away from him, but they thought he still had it for some reason. So ICE thought he was dangerous, and then they proceeded to shoot him in the head
Yeah.
10
Yeah, no.
times.
No. Again,
So,
I'm not.
which
I'm not here
again,
for that.
it's
that
like
kind of stuff.
one shot in the
No.
head does it.
Yeah. No,
That's-
they're making a
that
bit
is
of
a
a
staffing
point with
problem.
the whole like no, there is something seriously wrong there, as in like that those who specifically did that killing or murder, I'd even go as far and say that.
Yeah.
I think they are, like, you know, dangerous not just to other people but themselves, you know, to
Yeah.
take a life
Yeah.
as unreluctantly as that. And the guy, I think he may have, there is footage of him antagonizing them, but you can't just mark a guy for what,
Yeah.
you know, hollering.
No.
You know, there is
It's a
something.
protest. It's gonna happen.
There has
It was-
been
it was-
something really gone wrong with the employment there.
A lot less justifiable than a lot less justifiable than the first
Yeah.
killing.
The Renee Good.
You know, both are, you know, bad or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
you have to say that like obviously all pretty much all murder's bad,
Yeah.
pretty much. Um,
Yeah, I've been
but
particularly against that lately. But that's just how
you've
it
been,
goes.
have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
The more I hear the murder, the less I care
Oh
for it.
God, you're a
What
reformer, aren't you?
what this murder stuff?
Yeah, the more I hear about, the
Yeah,
less I
no.
care for it.
But yeah, no, this one was the Alex Priest stuff is particularly bad. Although my only defense of it would be, gotta be pretty stupid to antagonize like Ice,
Yeah, you know,
Um, the
any
way
reason.
that these
ISIS,
observers go about this is absolutely
yeah.
stupid.
But
You
then
know,
it's pretty stupid for ICE to react that way when there's cameras
yeah, no,
everywhere.
obviously, no, of
Yeah,
Yeah.
course. I'm not justifying their actions
no,
at all. I'm just saying that, uh, you know,
yeah.
these protesters are also just they're not helping or anything. They're not going to stop ICE. They're not helping anyone really. They're just making ICE's job harder, which is causing some of
I think that's what they kind of
these things
want.
that you heard.
But
Well, they
yeah,
want that, but obviously it's bad that they want that.
but yeah, like I'm sure. Well, I know me and Ollie have seen it. The guy they called the black ice agent the N word, and they
Yeah,
doubled down. They
House
doubled
Edward.
down. How
I've done it again,
they
by the
called
way.
him a
There's
house
another
N word.
clip.
That seems to be a trend. See, the thing is about the. I'm sorry to group the left up, but like this left is
I don't group the whole
like
left.
they'll be anti-racist until they're on the other team, and then they're a
Yeah,
house.
then they're not proper like sort of left wing, are
Yeah,
they?
but that
Like,
yeah, the loudest
they're
voices, you
they're
know.
just racists, you know. I think I'm not saying I'm speaking for every, but I'm more centre than anything, as we like come to realise through like our tests.
Yeah,
But it's like you can't be against something and then you can't if you're on a political side, you can't be against something the other party is doing and still be with your party when you do it. If say the Republicans are the racist party here, I'm not saying they all are. A lot of them aren't, but it's just for instance called the Republicans the racist party and the Democrats the non-racist. If a Democrat then becomes racist, they're not really part of the they're overall still part of that party if all their other things align. But they can't say they're a true Democrat, can they? Because they are siding with one of the worst features of that party.
I don't
It's
particularly
like
agree with that. I don't think things are black as white. Black
no,
and as
no,
white
I don't think
as
things
hey,
are black and white. But
these things are racist. These people aren't racist. This person's
no,
doing
but
that,
I was
therefore it's
doing it
black.
for an
It's true.
example. I was doing it for an example, but I don't think you can go and say, "Oh, Trump's bad for saying this, Trump's bad for saying that," as these like sort of a lot of Democrats do. They're like, "Oh, Trump's a big bigot racist," you know. But I don't think you can say that when if you're then going to be racist back. It's really hypocritical. You can't spread a message and then go against
well,
your message. Or you don't
I'm
truly
against
believe
the
it.
whole
Oh, it's
hypocrisy thing. I'm against that.
yeah. Okay, I thought you were. Okay, yeah, my bad.
I'm not saying, if you like sort of are a racist, you change political parties or anything. But you can't go, oh, Trump's this and that, and then you do what you're fighting against.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's like me saying I'm against slavery and then I own slaves.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, no. This is the thing about politics, right? It will, once you commit to a side, which not many, well, obviously plenty of people do, but most people are unbound, or let's say unattached to parties, and it's the people who have actually committed themselves to a party, let's say the Democrats or the Republicans, in America's instance, who are the people who are committed to the ideas and will hate any kind of deviation from their kind of worldview, right? So Democrats are typically associated with a more like let's say empathetic view towards like black people and their struggles, like with like they have higher crime rates, and they'd attribute that to economic circumstance. Now there is some truth to that, but as soon as they don't serve their agenda, then they're they're the wrong kind of black, right? And again,
Yeah.
I can do a similar anecdote on the Republican side. You could do that for Jews, for example, right? Right? They're fine with Jews until they're not doing what they like, you know.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about party politics is they espouse views, but as soon as their worldview is slightly deviated, then you realise the whole allyship is kind of false. They just want their system of government in charge, and hence by
Yeah.
in this case the like heckling of house, which is that is really bad.
That's insane. You double down that. So, and also, there's been another. I've seen another clip
more
of that
instances.
today.
So that's the new
Yeah.
fad there, right?
Yeah.
Seems.
The N-word. You're next today.
Jesus.
I think it's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah, no, it's just America at the moment. I mean, like I was thinking before a podcast was even considered. I was just thinking, like America, that is not the place to be right now. And then I thought,
Yeah, no.
I don't think Britain is at the minute, to be honest. So I think the Anglosphere is in a bit of trouble. Like it's make or break.
I mean,
we need to
I
sort
mean,
ourselves
England's
out.
a lot better off than America at the minute. I
What-
was
what-
going to go to.
Can I just
America
ask
this
why?
year, but,
Like I'm partially curious.
well, just the violence that's happening in
Yeah,
America.
I
and,
suppose. Like
and
I think there's a certain uncomfortableness from violence from
when I-
authority, which is in the
when I
America
watch-
kind of.
yeah, when I watch news in America, I do think obviously there's issues with our country and stuff, but I do just think, it's like I do feel a bit lucky to not be in a country where that's going on, because America used to be like the safe hub, like it was like they'd look at like Iran and stuff, and they'd be like, I can't believe this violence is going on, and it was like sort of like the house for,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
it was
just
sort of
look
the
at-
powerhouse
Yeah.
for
just look
stopping
at America
injustice.
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like the powerhouse for stopping injustice. It fought against it, and now it's rife with it.
I would say I'd like to make a point of order and say that America's a much bigger place, and therefore, it has 500,000,000 people. I mean, not 500,000,000. Sorry, like third of a
400.
billion people. Yeah, like obviously they're going to have more of this stuff than we
Mhm.
will ever
Obviously,
going
but
going
More guns
to
than
they've
people.
also
imagine.
got
Yeah,
they've got the biggest economy in the world and things like that. So, one of the biggest. So you would have thought they'd have the money and the resources to deal with it. And like under Obama, it wasn't as big of an issue. And even leading up to like Biden and stuff, it wasn't a massive issue. It's only really in the last year
Yeah,
that it's
the things
become an
have,
issue, and that's due to
exacerbated.
that's
Uh,
due to a poor cabinet, and that's due to a bad
I
sort of leadership and cabinetry.
I would, yeah. With
You
that,
can't
we
blame it
had.
on the economy or anything, because Trump is one of the highest borrowers of national debt. He borrowed double the amount that Biden borrowed in his first term compared to Biden.
It's not good.
He borrowed something like over 8 trillion or something. Biden only borrowed 4. So,
Just a cheeky fuck.
Like-
I mean-
Sorry, I'm just making.
If you are you talking about this term or last term? Last term was COVID. Everyone borrowed more, but
I know, but then they broke it down into COVID spending and non-COVID, and even when it was non-COVID spending, Biden still spent less.
I mean that's the trouble
And
with
he-
Britain right now. By
And
the
he
way,
also had COVID spending. Don't forget, Biden would
Mm.
still. And the majority of Biden's sort of spending was for COVID. The majority
Yeah.
of his borrowing. So
that's the problem with Britain now. Our debt is
Yeah, that's
absolutely massive. Before 2008, we had like a tiny jet to GDP ratio, like 40% or something. But now since 2008, and then going onwards, and then COVID happened. Our debt to GDP has gone up so much.
Hmm.
We used to be really, really good with the money stuff, but not anymore since 2008, unfortunately. It's also one of the only countries that have stagnated really since 2008. We have big financial issues,
Yeah.
yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is kind of moving on, but it's American politics based, and it's kind of about just kind of we've kind of already been going on about it, but how kind of messed up American politics is because now because there's like a false choice between everything, right? Because now the most right wing Democrat is to the left of the most left wing Republican, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Wait. Yeah. No, so I got and vice versa, and so basically what I'm getting at there's and this could work the same here in Britain, but there's kind of there's false options is what I'm saying, right? What I
yeah.
mean
You're
is
getting the same party either way, really.
no,
Is that what you mean?
no,
Oh,
no, that's not what I'm saying. What
oh,
I'm saying is, so I'll give you an example. So let's say 50 years ago, so 1970s, in New York, a New York Republican would have been to the left of a let's say Mississippi. I'm trying to think of like a conservative state. Let's say
No.
Arkansas. Let's say Arkansas. So
Yeah.
they'd be a New York Republican would be to the left of a Mississippi Democrat. That's not a thing anymore because the part and the logical reason then would be, well, Mississippi's naturally more kind of conservative, so the Republican nominee would be have their Christian values whatever attached along with their kind of economic liberalism, which the Republican Party is known for, right? And the Democrat nominee in Arkansas would espouse some socially conservative views along with the more welfare-oriented things. But that isn't a thing anymore. It's all shifted towards the social, cultural policy thing. The discourse is no longer to do with economics and rather to do with fucking with culture, with the culture war, right? This has been pretty post 2010s, tens phenomena creeping in, post 9/11 kind of thing. And so the things which really matter, the only job of the statesman really is to make sure the economy's going well. And that's not, obviously
yeah,
everyone's worried about the economy, but people aren't voting because of the economy.
no,
And so the Democrat Party have gone to the farthest left they've ever gone, and the Republican Party, hence, have also gone to the furthest right they've ever gone. Whereas, what's being ignored? The economic policies. So now everything's squabbling over education, which they have a right to. There is some nonsense taught in American schools, but in culture, it's fucked. We can't sit down and actually discuss things anymore. And the thing is, I would probably, if Labour had any balls, like I'd probably be considered left wing because I believe in vaguely centre left economic ideas, like they've worked before, but no, because they don't stand for anything socially.
no,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
If you know what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
there's an illusion of choice.
Not only that, but people more. Yeah, it's not so much about the parties anymore when voting. It's about the figureheads.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
if
Trump is voted in because of his personality.
because he's Trump, yeah. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Obviously, the leader's personality is a crucial part.
Yeah,
But
you want a
people,
charismatic
found,
leader.
I
Ideally, you don't
found
want Keir
like with
Starmer,
the
do you? Yeah.
no, but I found with with Kamala Harris and Trump elections, they just they just voted depending on the person. People wouldn't know the policies as much, but they'd know the people, and obviously that's important. But the fact that they wouldn't sort of bother to really get to know the policies and they more focused on like the people is the issue. Because Trump has a good wit, obviously,
Hmm.
but I think that's why people voted for him. Because it's like, oh, I like this guy. He's going to be a good representative.
Yeah.
But then they never really went into his policies and views to see what he would be representing, like what he'd be representing. Well, obviously, I don't want Kamala to win. I'd rather neither of them won. I'd rather Brent Peterson won, to be honest.
Brennan Peterson.
Right.
But
Oh, well, you'll see a similar thing happen here. Unfortunately,
Well, yeah. I mean,
soon.
it is, kind of.
I think
but that's
because
the thing. It's like Nigel Farage is the figurehead of reform, and people like Nigel Farage because he acts like a down to earth character. But in reality, he's one of the biggest snobs out there. You know, like I think he's quite in his views. Obviously, I don't agree with him on basically anything
On
politically. Obviously, I
Any-
think we should control our borders more. But other than that, it's pretty slim
Pretty
pickings for
slim.
me.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I just
So,
found, I just found it kind of funny.
but same with like Zach Pascal.
no, because currently the with the Labour versus Conservative, the most left wing Conservative is basically the same as the most right wing Labour right, or even perhaps
Yeah.
more of a centre Labour
The
right, because the
Uniparty.
Conservatives were the Uniparty, they were both just basically the same kind of Suppose JC was a bit far for me, Mr. Jeremy Corbyn. But yeah, apart from him, yeah,
But the
and
thing
maybe
is,
the
he was a pretty good speak. I haven't looked into him very much, to be honest. I don't really care for him too much.
Like who?
I remember I was
Jeremy
interested
Corbyn.
in your
Oh, Corbyn.
I was interested
Not very
interested
charismatic.
in your party to see where that was going, but then that sort of went to Shan.
I mean,
So it
the
was
thing
like,
about your party is, I like out of everyone's Zara Sultana's take on things, which was that it's a boys club or something, which is
Sexist
quite
Boys Club.
sexist boys
Wow.
club, which is I think how would you say it, the nicest way, or the least direct way, let's say, of saying that it was took over by Islamists. Now, I'm not even saying this to be provocative. Like, the people in that party collaborating with Corbyn believed in cousin marriage and shit like that. I'm not saying they believed in Sharia law or anything. It's a bit of a spook, but they were pretty, socially conservative Muslims is what I'm saying. Not
but,
Yeah.
not Zara Sultana's types, though she would say she's a Muslim and everything like that. I mean, I was never going to be interested in that anyway, because Jeremy Corbyn, I mean, it's Jeremy fucking Corbyn,
But my point was
Hezbollah.
like, I sort of got
Hezbollah.
very sidetracked. My point
Sorry,
was, it's like, who is Kenny Badenoch?
Oh, no.
I
I mean, the Conservative
You know-
Party are as good as dead, really.
like she is.
They will be
And
reborn.
obviously, I know who she is and stuff, but she is the least irrelevant politician I think I could find. She's as relevant as the Scunthorpe politician. Like
Oh.
PM from Scunthorpe or MP from
I think
Scunthorpe
you're
has
being
more
a bit harsh to
traction.
the Scunthorpe MP.
The scum pub. Yeah. Hey, that's the football Ali G thing. Yeah.
Scunthorpe
I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
The Sporting
Mm.
Spice or whatever.
It's just like she is so irrelevant, and she makes these points like and speaks in like a big posh accent because she's from Eton, or one of the other sort of 3 schools you have to go to be a politician nowadays.
Leeds
And it's
Uni.
like,
Never forget this trust.
Yeah, we'll represent.
but it's just like she speaks in this accent about these policies and stuff, and she's like, "Oh well, I'm in power and stuff." It's like, but nobody knows who you are. I can tell you a
Who I thought
silly
is that
Kenny
guy?
Badenoch quote. It's like, nobody knows you. You know that
Yeah,
Nigel
Yeah.
Farage?
yeah.
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah,
Sort of
no.
thing.
No, you
That's
make a good
that's the sort of thing I get from her. Like, nobody knows who she is. She's a leader of what was one of like Britain's most successful political party, and now she's just sort of
Maybe the
fucked it.
world's most successful political party. Saying. And yeah. Well, I don't think it was specifically she that kind of
No,
fucked
she
it.
obviously didn't mess it up, but she
She
hasn't
she she
done much
inherited
to
a
revive it.
pretty dire situation that,
And I
you
think
know.
she's just made it more dire.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you,
She is the straw that broke the camel's
All
back.
right. I've said this
I don't think
before.
she's
I've said this
Mhm.
before, and it sounds racist out of context. And it's the last thing. And again, I will explain the point. And it's not like a personal thing for me, but it's
Is
going to
this
sound
like
racist.
the age of consent laws? You're
No,
recording?
no, it's not about the age of consent laws. It's like this. So if the Conservatives, right, so the Rishi Sunak thing is done, they need to bring someone new in. The last person they needed to bring in was anyone who was a female and anyone of colour. Now, let me finish. It sounds bad.
Just have a woman.
It sounds bad. Actually, maybe a woman. They could have brought in a woman. But
Yeah.
the thing is, people, we got to remember, this is Britain. This is England. This is whatever, right? This is still a country. This isn't the new world. People prefer, and I'm not saying I do, but I'm saying people prefer, because you got to think the voter base, people who they relate to. People don't relate
Yeah.
to, like, people, again, you saw it with Rishi Sunak's thing. People made fun of him for being Indian.
It's not even that. He was loaded as well. He tried to be down to earth
I
as
know.
well, but he was loaded. He's like the
But
richest
what I'm
prime
saying
minister, and that's also why people don't
is his
like him.
race was used against
Yeah.
him by some. He was
Oh yeah.
by people on further to the right. He's an Indian. He'll never be from here. And people on the left, what is he? He's a coconut, right? His race was used against him by both sides, right? The last thing the Tories needed was anyone of colour. They needed an English person. That sounds really bad. I know it sounds really bad, but what I mean from purely
Yeah, because
an,
I
like,
do. I
to gain
agree with you
popularity.
partly here because the people that are going to be voting Conservative, I'm sorry to generalise, but if you're voting Conservative or Reform, you are more likely to, be a white male.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be more likely to want a white male in power. I'm not saying they're all racist or whatever, but
you would.
you don't
No,
see
I know.
many.
I know what you mean.
You don't see many late racists voting for like
Green.
the Lib Dems,
Greens.
not Lib Dems, Green. Yeah, Green. You don't see many racists voting for Green.
No, I know what you mean.
So it's like, if you're gonna try and stick to your party sort of demographic and target market, it's gonna be you're gonna want a white male or a white woman in. Even a woman is like this. That sounded really bad, but we know women can be really effective. Margaret Thatcher. People loved
effective.
her in the right.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was I don't agree with her really on anything. She sort of ruined the
But
economy.
one thing you can never say about her is she wasn't loved. She was loved by.
She is loved by Conservatives.
She's the most influential figure in the Conservatives. Right now, as in like
yeah.
Like
For the past,
they all,
decade,
even though
not decade,
none of their policies worked
century.
then and none of them will work now, they still all call themselves Thatcherites and things.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. The thing is, let me just rant for a second about Margaret Thatcher, right? Let's say her policies worked then, right? Let's be completely fair to her and let's say they worked then, right? All the Conservatives call themselves Thatcherites because Margaret Thatcher's policies worked. Who's to say that means anything now? What, Margaret Thatcher's...
Yeah.
They worked then. So what? So what? This isn't the 1980s. You can't just call yourself a Thatcherite. We can dig Churchill up because his ideas worked. You know, is that how politics works? What, we just dig up anybody's who had a brain, who thought of some
Yeah.
good stuff up.
Oh, let's go to Socrates.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I mean they're such fucking idiots, the Tories. Like they really are. Like they have no spine. I mean they ruined. They're not real conservatives anyway. They don't. Seriously, they're not.
They're just
They're
Labour and Conservatives are just tit for tat at this point.
yeah. I mean they're just like neoliberal economics type
Yeah.
things. Like they just believe in like they have this kind of absolute, not necessarily absolutist, but that the kind of free market orthodoxy which has permeated through the last like 40 years, right? Free markets are awesome, but not the way they've been used.
Which isn't a bad thing because free markets are good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
want to
they've
live
been
in a country
abused
without a free market.
by global corporations and things, and they have they've done nothing to stand in their way,
No,
and they've
it's like,
thus deprived industries and things.
and the thing is, it's like and it's like the thing with like Nigel Farage and stuff is he says he's gonna bring back British steel and things like that. I'm pretty sure I've heard him say he's gonna bring back that industry in England, but he hasn't really done much to prove that point.
No,
And neither have any party.
We are in
like,
the era. I'll say after.
The last steel factory in England got the main one got brought out by a Chinese firm. China is literally owning businesses all over the country. They're going to be there. Do you know dollar imperialism?
Yeah, and they're
how
one of the most evil
communism-
countries in the world, China. Like let's be honest.
It's like
they shouldn't.
it's like how the USSR said America was doing dollar imperialism back in the Cold War by buying countries, support, but through the Truman Doctrine.
Yeah.
And Marshall Wade. And it is true, but China's now doing that now, and we're just letting it happen because we don't realise. Because don't forget, basically every Chinese company is backed by the government in China. It's a communist or socialist thing. They pretend like it's not. But
Well,
how do you think these car companies?
But it's just authoritarian. They have to be.
But how do you think Chinese car companies like BYD have suddenly sprung up across England? Because they've been funded by the CCP. This isn't really. It might be a conspiracy, but this is just what I think. They've been funded by the government in China to manufacture cheaply and well. And then they're over here. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a whole conspiracy that, we're going to start. The steering is going to go mad and it's going to start killing us all. But it's like China is slowly creeping into our countries, and it is like how the economy is being dominated by big global corporations. China as a whole is starting to dominate our economy.
Yeah.
And countries from America, England used to be like the people, like the country people would rely on. But now we're one of the countries that we rely on other people.
Yeah. No,
I
mean
it's really flipped in the last century.
We are a very sorry nation at the minute. We're I think we're actually. I'd go as far as to say we're a joke of a nation. We're seriously completely emasculated. We have to answer to America and everything. There's nothing to Britain at the moment. Nothing which I can say is great. It's not. It's just Britain at the minute. And to return to briefly to the Farage point, which is he just says things. He talks of the whole British industry thing, right? Bringing that back, we are in the era of simplicity, of political simplicity, where you can literally just say things. You can say
can say anything and people will believe you.
You can say things, exactly. You can say things and people will swallow it up. And even the skeptics rather, have no sway. They're not powerful. They can't
No.
They can't force you into any real corner, really. And it will and let's just say this. It's like well, no, sorry, I'm stumbling along, but it's just simple answers to the most complex things. No no effective candidate or government has ever answered with complete simplicity.
No.
If we
There's
completely
always sort of
understand our
caveats.
politicians,
Yeah.
something's gone wrong, you know. And
And that's the issue with things like the online safety law. It's so easy to understand, but that's what makes it so wrong. And that's why there's so many flaws. It's like, oh well, you need a VPN to adult things that could be deemed as adult material, or as harmful to kids. And so it's like, and that is a prime example. Not like sort of things like that. Regulations used to be complicated. There'd be caveats. There'd be things. There'd be things which would allow certain policies to come through. It's like, do you know, like when you'd be like, I remember watching this show when I was younger. I don't remember what it was on, but it was like this woman was trying to go to get a form from like the American council, whatever you'd call it. Like how we have councils in England, like their version. And she was trying to get a form to fill out, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't fill out this form without this form." But then it was like it was impossible to get the form without another form, sort of thing. And that sort of is like that sort of you can't understand it properly, but it works in a way, sort of thing. And it's like there will all if policies are that simple, it's gonna have flaws. They're
yeah,
complicated. They're complicated, because they need to be
yeah,
complicated.
we're a complex world.
Politicians didn't just make legislation complicated because they found it fun. They've actually made it simpler because they find it so boring. So they just think if we can rush through this legislation, then it's a thing ticked off. It's like
Yeah,
equator met,
yeah. Again, if you just look at the discourses, 50 years ago to now, you'll see the difference. Spoken about this before, but the difference in
Even
quality.
respect for politicians. Like if you look at the old political races in America, both Democrats and Republicans would have respect for each other as candidates.
Yeah, no, well, that
Whereas,
goes to my point where with like how polarized everything is over there with the most left wing. You know what I mean, like the anecdote I provided earlier.
it's just where has the respect gone for those sort of
Yeah, to
like
the other party, because I mean, so if you know the situation with late night hosts over there, the whole
oh yeah, they're getting cut off a bunch,
yeah,
and then they get put
but
back
all
on.
they do is rip into Trump for about an hour, right? And I'm not saying you can't, right?
Yeah.
But back in my day, over there,
They'd have them on.
yeah, they'd bring the president on, and they wouldn't get heckled or anything like that.
They'd probably have like a little joke.
They make fun of them, but there wouldn't be the malice
like,
there,
No.
And so look, we can say, right, Jimmy Fallon shouldn't.
Oh
have,
yeah, Jimmy Fallon's like
no,
that's
Jimmy
the
Kimmel,
prime
sorry.
example I had in my
Jimmy
head.
Kimmel, right?
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel. He shouldn't have been took off the air, right? But what I will say about Jimmy Kimmel is he's no hero. He's added to the political turmoil in America through, constant demonization of the president and things like that. Some figures, right, they ought to be questioned. Every leader ought to be questioned. But to demonize a leader of a democracy, I think is
But
detrimental.
the thing is, it's also like, even like when you said Jimmy Fallon, I was thinking about him because you know how like once a week he'll do them songs about what the president's done, and they'll take the mick out of him. I'd even go as far to say as he obviously shouldn't be taken off the air, but that is also just like sort of disrespectful for the president. 'Cause it's done in a jokey way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he's quite a bad guy, and I'm not going to shy away from saying that. I don't like him at all. But at the same time, they're only doing it because it gets them so many views. They're not doing it for the actual cause. They're doing it because it gets them out on
Money.
air.
Money.
Because it gets a reaction out. of
Same
Trump.
thing with the Grammys, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Oh, what,
The,
Billie
the issue
Eilish?
is
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
the issue
ridiculous.
is Trump is too sort of sensitive. I'm gonna be real. Trump is a little
No,
pussy.
no. That is, I think that's my biggest criticism of Trump. He's took over the
Mm.
Republican Party to the point where he just fucks you off if you deviate
Yeah.
slightly from him. Like
But
Yeah, no.
like it's seriously messed up what he kind of did over there. Like it can't
But
just be the
it's-
Donald Trump party. This is a party which was started by Abraham Lincoln. That wasn't the Trump party then.
Yeah. But it's like it's just sort of really bad how he gets so offended so easily. And then that's what makes them do it more because it's like, do you know how like it's like when you're getting bullied, like like you see people getting bullied and then they just go and then like or you're getting picked on by a guy and your friend will go just don't react, then they'll get bored and they'll stop.
Yeah,
It's that he's reacting,
yeah, no,
so
you're right.
they're getting views off it because he's truth social posting about how horrible Jimmy Fallon or
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel
you're
is.
right.
Are we
Like-
Streisand thing right now?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's what it's called. I saw the video on that. Yeah, where
Mm.
All
she
that's
wanted to
happening-
get some video image of her house removed, and thus everybody learned
Yeah.
about her house being on
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
the-
yeah.
The phenomenon of
But-
trying to get rid of a thing, but stirring up more of us.
Yeah, same with Reform, by the way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like
And the
the
Greens.
talk show host sees their views going up when Trump talks about them because people are going to tune in to see what he's going to say next about Trump, and it might cause outrage, it might not, depending on who you are. So it's just Trump needs to stop reacting. Someone should really take away Trump's phone. I'm going to be real.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
always-
no.
He's on it too much.
Get rid of his phone.
Really
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, I think they're on Twitter a bit too much. So
No, politicians. I think we ought to just kick him off. Kick him off X.
they go off social media.
Yeah.
Apart from the ones I like, they can stay. But then everyone out there,
I mean,
yeah.
to be even the ones I like, I think just make him do things. Just get him off the phone. Just get him to do stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough. Like, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, no, every other day I see like Stephen Miller has liked this post, and then someone screenshot that, and then oh, look, Stephen Miller's liked my post, something like that. It's like today. Oh, JD Vance has liked my post. It's like, interesting.
Oh, do you remember Jay Chan got liked by the Chinese?
Oh no, yeah, no. LP sent me this thing, and
Jay Chan got liked by their official Chinese account.
What?
yeah, I don't think he's
You got liked by the official Chinese account.
by some
Yeah.
like big pro China account at least. I don't know. He's definitely not
Mm.
pro China.
No, he's very anti-China.
What is he?
He didn't seem it.
Hong Konger or Taiwanese or something.
Taiwan, I think he.
Why
talks
does
about
Is Jay Chan directly from Taiwan or wherever he's from?
I have to
Or
ask him.
has he always lived in England?
I genuinely can't remember.
I don't think
It's
so.
been a while since I've even thought about the guy.
I don't think about you at all.
Because he has a very weird accent.
Might just be a brum.
He's a character, isn't he?
They say mum wrong. To be fair to him.
The only thing, Jay Chan, which I don't like, is like the fact that I don't know when he got into politics, but he must have been something like 14, 15 when he really got into it. You really want to get into that young. Like it's really a terrible career choice to want to be a politician.
Yeah.
Like
I mean-
it's genuinely like the amount of
I mean,
things
yeah,
that
with
you have
my
to change about
uncle-
yourself. About
I mean, yeah, like my uncle joined the Conservative Youth Party at 14 and he went to Parliament and stuff and like youth debates. And he's now like a massive reformee sort of thing.
right, like in the Reform Party, is he a defector?
No, he hasn't defected. He left politics.
Wow, no
But,
good,
like-
probably.
But Like he sort of like now he just goes on rants on Facebook about how Nigel Farage is the saviour.
It's just, I think you just described every reform, every conservative voter for the past, to be honest with you. Well, like maybe like half of them, more than
Yeah.
half.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just that, I don't know, wanting to be a politician. The sign that someone will be a good politician is that they don't want to be there. You know, like
Mm.
like it's a duty rather than a thing to chase type thing. The
Mm.
best leader is one
yeah,
who didn't want to be there in the first place. They just snatched it.
Is this a pro monarchy
No,
tweet right
no,
here?
it's actually not. But it is used
Mm.
for monarchy. It is used for monarchy, but the best leader isn't necessarily self-elected. He's elected by other people. Like they say, you got to do this, and eventually, cometh the hour, cometh the man, type thing. I have thought about monarchy lately again, and I am against it. Well, not over here. No, sorry, I don't mean that. As in,
yeah,
I don't believe in an absolute monarchy or anything like that. I believe in the whole democracy thing, because I mean we're here now.
yeah,
You can't remove it. It's a thing, and for good or worse, it's here. Like I think there are massive cons with democracy though, but it's here to stay.
oh yeah. But
Like I'm
I mean,
talking,
I'd much rather have democracy than a full blown
yeah,
monarchy.
no, I'm talking beyond the idea that democracy's bad because it allows stupid people to vote. No,
Yeah,
that's part of the problem. But the big con with democracy is that in since democracy, right? Democracy pioneered big time. Well, in Britain by the utilitarians, right? Jeremy Bentham,
yeah,
Mill, right? So what do they believe, right? They think the highest good, right? This is their ethical belief. The highest good is what brings the most people happiness, right? That sounds like a fine thing, right? The highest good is what makes the most people happy. And what makes the most people happy is living comfortably, I suppose. But they twist it, right? Their whole form of goodness is based on, literally in the word, utilitarian. They base goodness off utility, right? Utility, what's useful. And so what they've done is these are the people who've really pushed for democracy big time. So they reduced our whole conception of good to what works best, as in what takes the least amount of effort without being terrible. And guess what's happened? We've talked about this before. Architecture, that's all brutalist nonsense now. There's no distinct culture
yeah,
anymore, and it's because it's easiest.
Ah, okay.
They've been the accompaniment. They now again democracy, fine idea, but when it's those people who pushed for it, and it's those people whose ideas live on. By the way, Jeremy Bentham, utilitarian, huge influence on who? Shabana Mahmood. She wants to build. There was this thing I saw today, and I know
Mhm.
she said something kind of based to gone to you and Hayden. I didn't really look into it, but she's pushing for like more government rate like in our own lives, you know,
Uh,
like
Wait, where was this?
1984. I'll find it. I'll find it soon. But no, she spoke to Tony Blair, and she referenced this idea
Mm.
on like it's seriously I'll send it even in the description of this video. But she kind of referenced this thing, this utilitarian idea, and it's absolutely dictatorial in the way she wanted to apply it. Like
Interesting. The only thing,
it's messed up. Sorry, go on.
the only thing I saw from it was saying that they were going to scrap non-crime hate incidents. Thing I saw. I actually found it. I didn't look at it. I was like, yeah, seems like it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Don't think you can necessarily like legislate against people being particularly
yeah,
hateful in a meaningful way, you know. But interesting.
yeah. No,
I thought,
she wants AI policing. That's it.
um,
a
Oh, this like predictive policing
yeah,
thing.
it's
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm really not keen on that. And
No.
but what I'm saying is you can't I'll put that somewhere else. But you can't reduce a culture, a country, to the basis of utility, what's useful, because then you have nothing.
Yeah.
Useful doesn't mean anything. Right? Well, it means useful. That's it. What makes a
Yeah.
country is it's attached to the sentiment of the people, what the people think, what the people like, the preference of the nation. The preference to the English is different to the Germans, just as the Germans is to the
Yeah.
Saudis, right? Completely different. And if
Yeah.
each one were to abide by this vague thing, utility, bye distinct architecture, and that's what we see here.
Yeah, I mean,
Very much.
I would, when you say that, I think of like a cathedral.
Yeah,
Like that's not a
Gothic
cathedral
architecture.
isn't particularly useful.
No, it's not. It's not.
Architecture isn't
It's
useful. Sorry,
made
I
purely
don't. I'm
because of the spectacle, and that's good.
not.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Its use as being,
It's being
well,
richly
in the
nice to
case
look
of
at.
church, over you and above you, and
Yeah,
the
over
biggest,
you.
grandest thing.
Exactly. And that brought moral order to the West for hundreds of years. Just
Yeah,
just the kind of the longing for more effort. And every culture has developed this way. Every culture has developed a religion, whether you're Indian, they have their own kind of Hindu architecture. Whether you're Muslim,
yeah,
they have their kind of, we see this. And you scrap that away, you're hollow. And the
yeah.
basis of the
That's a
nation
cool.
is emotion. It's about emotional attachment. Because I'm going to sound really postmodern here. I'm going to say the idea of England isn't a physical reality. It's not. It's not a physical fact. I'm a physical fact. I'm a thing. But we have decided England is a thing, or Britain is a thing, because there's been a coherence with observation, right? We've seen a thing, and we've attributed this holds a different quality to Ireland, right? It's clearly
Yeah,
distinct, right? It's not a physical reality. I know you find the usage of the word metaphysics quite like what do you want to say, like God, what's the word, like pretentious, right? And it can be used pretentious, but it's metaphysical. It's not a physical
I,
reality. Nations aren't a physical reality.
yeah,
And that's what.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
But there's clearly
That's
some
a fine.
reality.
Yeah, no, my point against that is just people using it to sound clever when they're talking about, say, like an idea or
Yeah,
something.
it's like Marxists do, like not Marxists, but like
Yeah,
people go the metaphysical, the ontological reality thing.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but no, I mean, if you're using it to say this is above reality, then
Yeah,
sure.
a first
Yeah.
principle. And yeah, it, a huge amount of destruction has come through just tearing cultures away from the origins. People need
Yeah.
that connection where they can understand that 500 years ago was the same thing as are coherent to now. And I think we're getting distant to that.
Well, I saw a thing today, and it just said like, that America isn't just an idea. That was
Yeah,
the whole tweet. Didn't go into it anymore. And I don't. I felt like I bookmarked it in my head, but I didn't actually think
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I guess I don't know what to
America's
think
really
about.
unique because it was founded on ideas, right? It was
Yeah.
because nations in the old world, Britain, Europe, whatever, they weren't founded on politics. They were founded by people.
And
But
politics
but
came into
America
it
was
later.
founded by politics, by political opinion. It's unique.
Yeah.
That's why it's the new world. It's it's founded by ideas, but that just because it was founded by an idea doesn't mean now that America is an idea. There's people.
Yeah.
There's people behind those who came out from those ideas. Because what happens,
Yeah.
and this is why the word prejudice, it has a bad rap now, but prejudice is perhaps one of the finest things that a person can have. Because what does prejudice? Let's break down the word. Prejudice, before, judice, which would be like judiciary, judgment, prejudgment, right? A judgment. And that comes from, think, people 50 years, 70, 100. Their ideas were mainly informed by Anglicanism, probably. Wasn't by choice, they were born into it.
Yeah.
And the kind of the moral judgments of Anglicanism steered them through, and the cultural values as well, which can bring British like practices, and it was already baked into their kind of brain that, hey, we do want to. Obviously, they didn't have nightclubs then, but the idea of a nightclub would have repulsed them, or over drinking, right? The kind of wisdom of the elders trickled down eventually, and formed a sensibility in the people, and that would have happened in Americans, right? It's not just an idea; it's a people now. Ideas become the people, and the people aren't ideas. I don't know if I'm rambling, but
No. We've been on
thing.
something similar before about prejudice.
Yeah, no. And
Yeah.
that's largely been took away. I think there's some things we agree in, like I like my food, I like music, I like family, but there's not much else to that. There's not much like emphasis on order or like, I think the idea of sin is useful for people, but I mean, sin is inevitably torn away, because I'd say we're pretty post-Christian and everything. But yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah.
That's just
I don't know what else I can say about that.
No, that's just my rant on nations and just things get took away. But
Yeah. No. There is well, when it comes to like modern countries, borders are definitely real and physical things.
yeah,
Like the countries themselves, they move and they shift around.
yeah,
So you're not going to say, like, for example, like some parts of Greece weren't always part of Greece, but they're still Greek now. And even if there was a piece of Greece over here, it would still be Greece.
yeah,
How do I say this? How do I say this well? Like with British overseas territories, for example, they're parts of the UK, even though they aren't natural or specifically.
I know what you mean. Like specifically British, but they just happen to be owned by us. So what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our history and culture and ideas have made that place British, more than anything else. So it is now Britain, even though Britain's this island, however. Yeah. So yeah, good talk, guys.
Jolly good show.
Hope everyone's all right. A jolly good show. Thank you, Pops.
Jolly good show. First podcast back, really.
Jamie was only
of the year.
Only referenced like.
I think I mentioned him a few times.
Yeah.
Has it been stopped?
But yeah,
Okay.
But yeah, see you in the next one, gents.
Yeah.